Welcome back to another episode. I'm in a suit and tie right now because it is currently Tuesday morning at 7:13 a.m. and for the first time in a very long time, I have actually called into work sick. I genuinely, whenever I get the flu, I don't always get colds, but I get the flu a lot. And when I get it, I swear I get the biggest man flu, bro. Where I can literally barely move. I'm so fatigued, I'm so sore, and it's just such an uncomfortable feeling. It's just really awkward, and I feel like maybe some guys can agree with that. Maybe I'm dramatic, but my body feels like it tries to shut itself down. And I got sick, I think on Saturday or something, or maybe Friday night. I started getting a bit of a sore throat. And Saturday was fucking rough, but I still went to the studio first thing. Ended up actually leaving a bit earlier because, I felt like shit. And, I was recording and everything, but my day was still fully flat out. I think I did groceries straight after, then cleaned the house, and I did something at night. I can't remember what. And then, oh, that was on Sunday, actually. So maybe I got sick Saturday. What did I do Saturday? I can't even remember. I did something Saturday, and then Sunday was just crash hot. And then that's what it was at night. I went to my mum's birthday. I think we got back at around 10 o'clock or something. And normally I bulk cook meals for the week. I didn't have time to do that Sunday, and I genuinely just couldn't be fucked because I felt so shit. And so I did that last night, and then I also, me and my partner booked accommodation for where we're supposed to be staying this weekend for our anniversary. Happy anniversary, Tegan. It's today. And yeah, bro, I've just been on a roll, but because I've been sick, normally I would just soldier on. As you can see, I actually tried to soldier on, but this week at work I'm in something called first response, and it's essentially if someone calls the company back, they're trying to call Fair Work, it'll go through to us first, and then we sort of navigate that person to someone else. It's very boring, and it doesn't affect my numbers. My numbers are already being affected because I'm not doing my job, if that makes sense. Like I said, I was struggling to move. I was literally just about ready, and I thought, fuck it, why push myself if I'm just gonna be sat there all day not doing my job, you know what I mean? It's very simple as well. And there's people still there that can do it, so I was like, you know what, I probably, if I'm sick like this again and I'm doing my job, I'm most likely not going to call in sick, so I will take the opportunity while I can, which is unlike me. I think especially from where I come from, the job I was working, if I took a sick day, it affected me and everyone around me, so I was always in no matter what. My rule is always, no matter what, come into work unless I physically can't get up out of bed. And I know I'm not in my bed right now, but today definitely felt like that. And I was going to still push, but I was like, fuck it. And I was feeling quite nauseous this morning too. Nothing happened with that, but I was like, what? There's no point in pushing myself for that. At least if I take a day to rest, I can catch up on stuff like this. Where it's a lot more relaxing. I'm not around people. I will have to go to the doctors and get a doctor's certificate because it's a very, not formal, what's the word? Corporate job. So it's you got to do everything by the book. So I will have to go to the doctor, unfortunately, which is probably going to be a 2-hour journey because that's what doctors are. And I don't think they can give me anything to help anyways. But normally I take cold and flu, but I don't take Codral because it doesn't do shit. And my partner normally gets this certain brand from Priceline, and I went to a different chemist because it's what I was near at the time on Sunday, and thought I got the stronger stuff, but doesn't feel like it's doing jack shit. But yeah, bro. Besides all that was sort of just my explanation as to why I'm recording this in a suit and tie. I do want to try and push myself and go out and record content at some point today because I've got a track coming out in 2 days from the point of me recording this, and it's with my brother actually. And it's the last single that I'm dropping for a while. There might be like a wild one here and there, say a feature or something, but I'm working on something in the background and I don't want to spiel right now about it. I want to try and keep it under wraps a bit, which is like the first time I've done anything like that. But yeah, bro, exciting stuff. I did want to talk about, however, in this episode, my week last week at work, because with highs come with lows. So I don't think I spoke about it in the last episode because it only happened last week, but I think on Tuesday, I booked in a meeting on the Monday. They sat it on the Tuesday, and during their sales meeting, they signed it. And they also had an incentive at the beginning of this year. Instead of 2% commission, get 3%. So I will be getting a lump of change, which is very nice. It shows that I'm doing what I do well. It was also a very good opportunity, so I guess it was an easier sell. He was someone that didn't have anything in place. He was going through a court case, blah, blah, blah. I won't get too far into it because I don't want to expose the dude. But yeah, it was a very high. But then I think because I booked on Monday, I booked on Tuesday, so I'm starting to get the swing of things. On the Wednesday, maybe it was Thursday, maybe Wednesday might have been chill as well, I can't remember. No, that's when the headache started. The headache started on Wednesday because I was supposed to have another meeting sit. But I've been calling this lady for like a week that said she would sit it. She wouldn't answer all fucking week. I was calling like 2-3 times a day, even on my personal phone as well. And it wasn't until literally 30 minutes before the meeting was supposed to happen. I tried her again, and she answered, and she's like, bro, I've been waiting for your phone to call me. And she was in Perth as well, which I actually fucked the times up. It's like a 2-hour difference. So for her, it was later, I believe. Like, the meeting should have already happened. And she's like, look, I can do something in the next half hour. So, yeah. I tried to book something last minute. Someone's diary was open. But it was open on our end. On his end, he was actually signing another deal, so he couldn't make it. Anyways, it was all this back and forth. There's more detail to it, but I won't get into full detail. It was very messy. There was a lot of arguing. And I was sort of just caught in the crossfire. I was just trying to do my best by the prospect because, you know, it was messy as fuck for them. And even, like, as a whole as a company, you don't want to come off as unprofessional. Do excuse all the noise. That is Pepper in the background playing with the blinds. He's been feral again recently. But yeah, there was a lot of back and forth. And then tried to book in again on Tuesday. On the Thursday, sorry. I don't think it sat. Then there was another meeting that I booked in. Didn't clarify how long the meeting went for. She said she only had 10 minutes. The meeting was supposed to go for an hour. That flopped as well. But meanwhile, while this is happening, like, I'm trying to punch as many dials as possible. I'm trying to help the people around me. I got told off for helping the people around me because it's not my job. And I was like, no, bro, it's fine. Like, I'm going to get my stuff done too. And he's like, no, you can't. You know what I mean? Like, he was just trying to be professional. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you can't see that in the background, but he's going ape shit. He's actually been breaking out of his cage again, and like, even when I'm not here, and I'll show you the setup, you can see that there. He's been pushing that. I've got like these 2 boxes pushing against. He's been pushing that and getting in this front room, which he's not allowed in. but he's also been breaking out of his cage, so he's been a headache. Like, I woke up this morning again and he was out. I got home last night and he was out. He was in this room. Even when I hopped in the shower last night, he got out again. But he is booked in for his D-sex tomorrow, so hopefully, once that happens, he starts to calm down. But I feel bad for him because, like I said, me and my partner are going away this weekend. Still haven't sorted for someone to come take care of him, which I need to jump on as soon as possible, realistically. But because he's on the back end of surgery too, he's going to need meds and stuff. So I'm going to make sure whoever is taking care of him, either be my mum or my partner's brother, that, you know, they're medicating him properly and stuff as well. Because I believe he would have stitches. I don't know. The doctor said they'd tell me more on the day. But yeah, the reason I wanted to talk about the highs and lows, especially in the sales position, I feel like because I did so good one day, I try to set that same expectation every day, and forgot to remind myself that I am still new. I am still getting into the swing of things. On both days, like, I pushed as hard as possible. I think one of the days I made like 240 something calls, and it was like just towards the end, I just booked someone and I was trying my absolute best. Like, there's a balance of trying to push really hard, but not sounding desperate and selling, if that makes sense. As I explained in my role before, the whole idea of my role is to sell the meeting. So it's essentially like, you know, digging up a lot of pain for them, finding out every detail I can about them, including like address, phone number, email, blah, blah, blah. How many employees they have, stuff like that, while also like just navigating through conversation, digging up pain, finding out what they have in place, what they don't have in place, what would happen if something happened, like what's their procedure to go forward with that, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, without trying to sell the service and sound desperate, there's like such a fine line, because it's like everyone has a different style, right? Some people are very direct and blunt, which works for them, but as you guys know, I am a bit more of a open-minded person who likes to help people, so my approach is a lot softer, but I've also got to like tie in being more direct, and like it's called assumptive closing. So I've got to pretty much like, I can still be soft, but I've got to like say that this is what we're doing for you, you know what I mean? Instead of saying, oh, can you do this day? What time are you available? Or like giving them too much option, because it sort of makes them the leader. And a good example of this is someone else who's newer that sits next to me. He is 61. I don't know why that's relevant, but he'll be really good at what he does. I don't think I told his story on here, but I'll leave that for him because it's probably a bit personal. But when he does it, he sounds a bit desperate with it, saying like, oh, wouldn't it hurt to have this meeting? Like, please let me do this. I'd love the opportunity to be able to do this for you. And I turned around to him and I said, you can't, like, I'll be real with you, bro. Like, you can't sound desperate, because that's what you're sounding like. Me and him get along really well, by the way. I'm not just being an asshole. He actually appreciates that I'm telling him upfront and honestly. He's like, he keeps saying that. He's like, bro, I've learned so much just from you, just sitting next to you, which is good. It means I've picked up on it quick. But yeah, I'm like, you can't sound that desperate. Like, if you're saying stuff like, oh, we would love the opportunity, you're making them the leader, and you don't want them to be like the leader, you know what I mean? Like, you want to say, look, I can see that you guys don't have anything in place. If something were to happen, like, you're gonna end up in a lot of trouble. You're gonna lose a lot of time, money. So I feel like you guys should have the opportunity to sit in a meeting with us, like flipping it on its head sort of thing. And that's probably a poor excuse, but yeah, like just changing language and stuff. It's easier said than done, and it's all repetition. Like, I think the reason I have learnt so quick it's just from sheer numbers, like sheerly just calling in as many people as possible, like you develop a lot quicker, because it's just numbers. And people say it is just a numbers game at the beginning, and people have different opinions, but I think that definitely I can see both sides of it, but I think regardless, I think volume is key. Like you can have a more direct approach and have your pipeline and go into that, but you can still do the volume, you know what I mean? Like, and you're going to have more coming from it. But I think a lot of people in there sort of put a cap on themselves. Like, so by minimum, we're supposed to set 2 appointments a day. So I think they just do that and then they're fine with that, if that makes sense. But realistically, if you're putting more volume in, doing that same thing, you could literally like double, if not, like you could get 4 meetings, 5 meetings, because these people are, I'm doing 200 plus a day. I'm doing my best to get to that. Whereas most people will book multiple appointments, but they're only doing like 80, 90 calls a day. So it shows that difference. Like if they're doing that same thing, but doubling that, like doubling the volume, then they're going to book twice the amount of meetings. On my end, it's the other way around, where it's like, because I'm still learning everything, I'm already doing the volume, I just need to learn the other side, and I am getting a lot better at it. But once I learn that, and I'm doing the volume, bro, I'm going to be booking a lot more meetings than those guys, which is really positive. But another thing, and I think this is sales as a whole, right? Like I was talking to the guy I was with in First Response yesterday, and he was saying how he's only been there for 5 or 6 months, I think, and he's quite tenured there, which means like he is most like he's been there the longest, if that makes sense. Like not a lot of people are there for very long. It's very much like people are in and out, whether that's they can't handle the workload, whether they move on, whether they move to a different role, whatever it is. But because what I've noticed now, which has opened my mind up to it, which is really good. So the role I'm doing is stressful in itself, but it's literally like the entry level role. And the higher the role, the more expectation you have to do, if that makes sense. Like where I am, so it's the other end of the building. It's still on the same floor, but the other end, I move normally over here. It's over here. This is where all the people are BSCs, which I've discussed before, business sales consultants. So the people calling and trying to book meetings. Most of them are all over here with the team leaders. Then over this side, it's like everything else. So there's First Response. We're called outbound, so we actually go out of our way to call these people. There's First Response and inbound, which is inbound is they're calling us. But then there's also marketing, there's socials, there's finance, and something else. But it's like, there's a lot more going on there. It's a lot more quiet over there too. Like where we are, because it's so high energy all the time, it's very noisy. It gets very noisy. It gets very hard to concentrate because you're trying to listen in on this like bodgy ass headset. While a lot of the time as well, you get a lot of like people that English isn't their first language, and with that and people clapping in the background and yelling and screaming and everyone talking on headsets, it gets very difficult to actually focus in and hear what they're saying. I think that's why a lot of people sort of walk away and close themselves in a room, because it does get a bit much. But on the flip side of that, music wise, I had a meeting with my music manager Uzma. Told her my plans for everything when it comes to music for this next year, and she's super excited. I'm super excited. You guys should be super excited for what is to come. I'm probably going to spend part of today while I'm resting to, go deeper into that and actually like expand on what I do have planned. Again, I'm just going to chill, you know what I mean? When I say I'm going to relax, it's doing more chill activities. Like I can't lay in bed all day. Like whenever I am sick, whether it's, throwing up on the toilet, flu, whatever it is, if I lay in bed, it just makes me feel worse. I don't know what it is. So at the moment, I got the window open. I'm sat in front of the sun, soaking up rays. I will, like I said, I'll have to go to the doctors, so I'll move around a bit. That makes me feel better, but I can't. I probably could have gone, you know what I mean, to work, but just being surrounded other people, I don't want to appear as sick. And because I'm talking on headsets all day and stuff too, and I'm in a different section, I don't really know anyone. It's just a lot, so I'm like, nah, I'm gonna take the opportunity and, you know, try and just rest up. But yeah, that's where we're at, man. Super excited, like I said, for what is to come. You guys probably won't see any of it for a little while. You might see bits and pieces and be like, oh, you know, he said he's cooking on shit. You know, like I'm actually seeing some things, but I'm not going to say what they are. You might notice some of those things in the background, but until the big bang happens towards the end, like you're not going to really see what you're used to seeing from me, if that makes sense. But yeah, man, like I said, I'm going to jump off, I'm going to edit this, and then go to the doctors. I do want to film content today as well, so I'm probably going to stay in the suit. I probably don't look very sick doing that. I don't even know what doctors I'm going to, because I'm still new to around here. I don't even know what's around here. But yeah, I'll keep this somewhat short and simple. Appreciate every single one of you that watches this. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button. It does help a lot. I think I say it every time. I need to post more shorts because I realise that that's what gets a lot more people in to watch these. But I've been lacking, and that's going to be another challenge I have to face because I'm ready to post more content. But because the music's sort of, you know, gonna be at a bit more of a halt, I've got to navigate and figure out what I'm going to do for content. So yeah, again, thank you for watching this. I'll see you guys next week. Take care and peace.